What's going on, everybody? Nick from the Sound Coop here. I got a short little video for you guys today on the California Tweed by Mesa Boogie. This is my most recent gear purchase. I'm completely in love with this amp. I bought the amp because of all the great reviews that Mick from the Pedal Show has done. He's done a lot of great reviews and demos of this amp. I love the tones. I was mainly looking for something to replace my Two-Rock Studio Signature. I wanted something that did cleans in a better way than I thought that amp did. So I ended up settling on this Mesa Boogie, and what I realized is this is actually kind of two amps in one, which is really, really cool. Now, I haven't gotten into the Tweed thing at all, so this is kind of a new experience for me, but the first thing that I realized is not only will this amp do the Tweed vibe perfectly, like that cranked Neil Young, collapsing speaker kind of a thing, big, thick mid-range. This amp totally nails all that, but this amp also nails the Blackface sound, the Fender Blackface. It nails it perfectly, and it's really easy to just switch back and forth between these two vibes or something in the middle. So for anyone that's looking at buying this amp, I just wanted to show this off really quick. For anyone that has this amp and maybe doesn't really know about this, just check this out. It's pretty cool how you can really get a lot of different vibes out of one platform. This thing has not only replaced my Two-Rock, but instead of switching between a Two-Rock and something like a Marshall when I want clean versus overdriven tones, I can get almost everything out of the one amp. Now, I'll admit, the distortion side of this amp is not like a Marshall. The overdrive character is very different, but if I'm just looking for something that will do clean and dirty, this is a great option. So let's just check this out real quick. All right, really quick, let's just go through the setup. I got the Pro 2 Strat. We're going directly into the California Tweed. The California Tweed's going out to the matching 2x12 cab. On the cab, I have a Slate Digital ML2 microphone, which is a modeling microphone. And inside my software, I'm using the Royer 121 emulation. So we have the amp set with the gain at noon, the trebles at almost 3 o'clock, mids at noon, bass at noon, presence is almost all the way up and then just backed off a little bit. And I have the master dimed. Now, when I'm looking for the Blackface Vibe, the way I handle it is I turn the master all the way up, and then I use the gain to set the level that I want in the room. And we'll do the opposite to get the Tweed vibe. So here's the Blackface vibe. Very typical Blackface thing, very clean, really cool. And you can still do a lot with this. Like if you want more bass. And also a cool thing about this amp is you can really turn up the mids. And it doesn't get unwieldy. It just kind of creates like this mid-range push. Like that's mids all the way dimed. Still very Blackfacey, so I love that. Now, if we want that Tweed vibe, we do kind of the opposite thing. So what I'll do is I'll put the master at noon and I'll turn the gain all the way up. Now, that's pretty unwieldy. So if you don't know, Tweed amps, anytime you start diming out the input gain, the bass and the low mids are going to get out of line. So let's just scoop those back a little bit. So cool Tweed vibes there. We're not exactly collapsing the speaker yet, so let's just turn this thing all the way up on the master. Definitely still a little unwieldy on the low mids there, but that is just kind of the thing about the Tweed amp. It's sort of the vibe. turned down the mids a little bit there. That kind of cleans up the signal a little bit. Let's turn the bass down a little bit more. Really, really cool. So it's nice you can just kind of pop between both of those. Very, very helpful. I just feel like I can get a lot out of this amp compared to some of my other amps. I love a little bit of versatility, so it's nice to just be able to swap back and forth between both of those things. I'll also say, if you use the multi-watt mode, you can definitely get this thing to get a lot more aggressive. So I'm basically running this in like the full headroom mode right now with the 40-watt thing, but if you want more of that collapsing speaker thing, dropping down in the wattage really helps. But anyway, just a quick video on how you can get a Blackface Vibe and a Tweed Vibe out of one amp. I mean, it shouldn't be surprising, right? Because if you think about historically where the amps progressed as Leo was working on them, the Tweed was one of the first ones, right? And as the Tweed evolved, it got louder and it got quieter, and it eventually turned into the Blackface that we know of today. So it's not surprising, and I think the fact that this thing runs, the 6v6 setup, that's what gives it the headroom to make this possible. I think if this was running less V6s like a typical Tweed was, then it would be collapsing a lot sooner. But I think because of the way that they dialed this amp in, it gives it all the headroom you'd expect from like a clean platform amp, while also giving you all of that traditional character that you get from like a dimed out Tweed. So pretty cool amp. I'm really happy with this thing so far. I'm sure I'll do some more videos on this, but this is sort of the first little piece of magic that I've discovered and just messing around with this thing. So anyway, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. Any questions? Get at me in the comments, and I will see you guys again soon.